I have been absolutely loving my home racing simulator, but one part or component that I've only been liking but not loving is the seat or chair, which is a huge factor because it's where you're parking your back and crack constantly. In my review of the chair, I mentioned my two gripes or complaints was a lack of lumbar support and the fact that if you're 5'11" or taller, this chair isn't very comfortable if you like to rest your head up against anything. You kind of have to lean forward, hovering your noggin off the headrest, which is too short for the back of your skull. This new model fixed both of those aspects and is also wrapped in more premium material, and I personally think cosmetically fits my setup over shoulder a little bit better, but what really stands out to me is the difference in comfort. It's a little bit harder to get in and out of this chair because of the higher leg bolstering. It's not as easy to just throw yourself into the rig. You kind of have to go up and over those haunches, but once you are in there, you are hugged in a snug, secure cockpit that is still adjustable, reclinable like the PRS2 I reviewed, and still sports a moisture-wicking fabric, which is great if you live somewhere like Florida where it's frequent to get a medical condition called swamp ass. And this chair uses a new dual knob ratchet adjustment system. When you're in race and you're trying to quickly, I don't know, make a little micro adjustment in your road style chair, you have to go completely, look ma, no hands, wheelless and handless to reach back and grab both levers. This model over shoulder does allow you to turn just one lever, but it's much easier and has a lot less resistance if you turn both of them simultaneously. Man, you just covered pretty much everything you're gonna talk about in the review, but in the intro, why would anybody watch the rest of the video? Because it's gonna be a banger. Quick disclaimer to my audience, the Stallions and Stallionettes, this chair over shoulder and the PRS2, which I previously reviewed, was sent for review by NYXI Racing. However, this is going to be an honest, comprehensive review. I haven't been paid to say or not say anything about the product, and if there's any cons, shortcomings, or areas of improvement, you're going to hear about it. So these companies make better products over time. So I don't really like that. That just isn't accurate or true. It says bestseller. This chair isn't even available for sale yet. It hasn't had time to become a bestseller. The key notable features that make this chair a chair substantial to park yourself in: immersive bucket seat feel. It definitely has more aggressive bolstering on the lower part where your legs are and also the back region. In comparison to the PRS2, which I have previously reviewed, comfort fit design for wider range of users. How wide? 40-inch waist, you should be good. You could probably squeeze yourself in there being a little bit bigger, but you're going to be squeezed. Industry first adjustable lumbar support. I'm not going to be the one to fact check this, but I mean, gaming chairs like this, little office style chairs, have had lumbar support for years, so I find it a little difficult to believe that this is the first chair in the sim racing world to do that, but that's insane. Dual seat sliders, there's just one lever to adjust it, it's on the bottom. Breathable performance mesh, one of my favorite features of the chair is the fact that it does breathe incredibly well, so I get minimal beating of the back sweat. And then as far as compatibility, you can seamlessly mount this to any next level racing elite series cockpits. For example, the GT Elite Black Edition wheel plate version over shoulder, which I have reviewed, but also third-party cockpits will work, but they might require a little bit of adapting. So as for the pros, cons, and verdict, I'm going to start with the pros. I do think that the build quality is phenomenal. The materials used, feel, look, smell, taste, all the senses are stimulated by the way it's built. It looks rugged in design, and cosmetically also looks really good. Over shoulder, I think it's really far back. There we go. The moisture wicking material is great, and it's good that I like that, because if you don't, that's the only material that this particular model is available in, as were the other models like the ERS. The one that I previously reviewed does have a leather version and then a Samario mesh version, which I opted for, or they just gave it to me, I don't know. We're still gonna say I chose it, even though it was probably just given to me. By the way, if it looks like I'm just staring off into the distance, that's because I am. I'm looking at this laptop camera, but really, it's you that's recording me right now. Now, I'd be simply silly if I didn't mention the other chair that was launched alongside the PRS2, which is the PRS1. One is a little bit smaller, ideal for users with a 38-inch waist, and the PRS2 gives you an extra 2 inches to wiggle into. But looking at it, it looks super similar, except this is gray and black, and the PRS2 is red and black, which is something to be made note of. If you didn't already have a theme or setup that had red accents in it, because I'm running SimMagic equipment, which already uses red as their theme color, it kind of works together. But if you have an all yellow or blue setup, the red might not really go well with it. And as long as you can fit your body into it, the PRS1 with a 38-inch waist might be what you're looking for. The value factor, I think, is there. This is a $400 chair, and it seems like it's built nice and good, except for one major fat juicy con, which I'm about to mention, and that is the fact that the lumbar support, which is the main primary key notable feature in my personal opinion, is now broken. The knob spins indefinitely and doesn't do anything. If I had a little bit of a, not technical know-how, but I guess I was more DIY savvy, I could probably cut into the upholstery and try and find the mechanism that puffs up with air to give you that lumbar support. Even just saying the words confuse me, so I'm not going to attempt the project, but that should not have happened considering I've only had the chair for a couple months. I did get this way prior to public release. I was actually, I think, one of the first individuals to get this sucker, and I have been using it a lot, but under normal use scenarios where I adjust the lumbar and maybe want a little more, a little less, it just stopped working. I'd like to just say that I got a shitty first batch or something like that. Luckily, the chair is still under warranty. Sharing my screen over here, we do know that Next Level Racing does have 1 year of... where are you hiding it from me, sweetheart? We do know that Next Level Racing has 1 year of warranty coverage on manufacturing defects, which this would definitely fall into that. It's not like I was racking on the lever or anything like that. I weigh 185 pounds right now, so I'm not even pushing the weight limit of this chair, which is popping up on screen right here. I don't know how the lumbar could have gave out on me, but it did. But luckily, the lumbar did break in its furthest most position, so it does have a big hump, rump, or mound to push my lower back out in that small of my back, which is perfect. That's where I wanted it anyway, so it broke in the position I wanted. And along the bright road that we're going to keep traveling down, the lumbar worked great when it did work. It had about, it felt like about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of adjustment where I did really feel, whoa, I'm sinking into the chair, and then twist it. Yep, that's pushing into the small of my back, giving my spine a little bit of support on the vertebrae there. Enough jaw jacking and lip smacking. Those have been my thoughts on the PRS1 and 2, the newest chairs from Next Level Racing, which are linked in the description below alongside an exclusive discount for my audience. And I'll see you to comment section. Share your thoughts, please. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.